you so much, Ms. Johnson. I really appreciate it. And I am excited. Congrats to all who have gone so far. And it is our Price to Promise segment, folks. And yes, we have a special guest today. We have Mrs. Brielle Hoffman Crouse. We almost didn't want to marry you off, but and listen to this, folks, right? This young lady, and I'm still calling her a young lady, had tremendous success just being the youngest in several areas of Legal Shield. She was the youngest Millionaire Club member back in 2019. I was going to say 2019. She was the youngest at the time $100,000 ring earner. She was the youngest at the time $200,000 ring earner. She's also received a 5,000 app award, and she is currently a Platinum 3 executive director. She is doing tremendous things. So, good evening, Miss Brielle Hoffman Crouse.
Hello, family. How is everyone? Oh my goodness. I'm like giddy over here because it's so good to see all of your faces. If only I was in the same room as you, I would be giving all of you hugs, which I know is not COVID protocol, but it would be so hard for me not to. I miss everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful night. And thank you, Ms. Kimberly Dixon, for having me on the call tonight.
You're welcome. And if you wouldn't mind, just start, because there may be folks here that have not had the opportunity to talk to you or know your story. So tell us a little bit about yourself and why Legal Shield.
Absolutely. Well, most of you may know this, you may not, but I started Legal Shield as a baby. Not really, but kind of. I was truly raised in this business. My parents are John and Darcy Hoffman, who I love and adore. I just want to say that I am so thankful for their leadership, and I'm so thankful for a lot of the leadership of Shield Nation, because just like you, Kimberly and Russell, and so many other people on the call, you kind of helped raise me in this business. I can just remember so many special events that I was able to attend as a child, where the belief of the product in this business truly was ingrained in me since I was just a little kid. My parents joked that I was selling memberships when I was 10 years old at soccer tournaments and 15 years old, wherever we were. It was just, every stage of my life selling the membership, because it's always been in me, this just belief. And so, background real quick is I graduated high school in 2007 and ended up going to ministry school. I knew at some point I probably wanted to pursue a career in Legal Shield, but I was just waiting for, kind of like Cap talked about, the perfect timing, and just didn't feel like that was the right time. And so I felt like the Lord was calling me to Highlands College in Birmingham. Ended up moving to Birmingham, attended 3 years of ministry school, and then I was hired on staff at Church of the Highlands to work for the college. And so I worked in full-time ministry for a couple years, and I loved it, literally loved it. It was a dream job, but I realized I was not making necessarily what I was worth, and I didn't have the time freedom that I had seen my parents have growing up. I mean, the lifestyle just kind of speaks for itself. And so it was November of 2012 where I had this kind of stirring in my heart to take this passion for serving others and this just passion for, I've always loved people. So passion for people into the business world, because you've heard me say it a million times that I feel like you can make a difference anywhere you go. You don't have to be in the four walls of a church to make a difference. And so it was May of 2013 that I officially started my Legal Shield career. People ask me all the time, did your parents build your business for you? No, my parents didn't build my business for me. Yes, were they incredibly helpful? Were they awesome coaches? Absolutely. But one of the best gifts they gave me was, first of all, allowing me to start the business when I felt led to start it. Mm-hmm. And second of all, is putting in all the hard work that all of you put in on a daily basis to grow this business that has been such a blessing to all of us. So that's a little bit about my background.
Well, well, thank you for sharing that. And, one of the things I want to just point out to everyone that you mentioned is you had a passion for serving and you realize that you can serve in many different capacities. And Legal Shield is, when the timing was right for you, was a way in which you wanted to serve. And I hope folks understand that, if you're a person who thrives on really making a difference for others and have a passion for serving, we do that. We do that with Legal Shield. So hold on to that and think about, if that's an area of gifting for you and other ways that you can do that, right? Yes, we're here to talk about all the success in Legal Shield, but everything we learn about having success in Legal Shield should also help you in every area of your business. So thank you for sharing that. So let's talk. This is the price to promise segment. So let's talk about the price a little bit. When you got started with Legal Shield, you were young, you were single, you had a little bit more time on your hands, and then you went off and you got married. You currently have two beautiful children. You are currently pregnant with your third. So life definitely got a little bit more complicated, yes? So why don't you share with us about the obstacles, the price that you've had to pay to have a family and still be able to have success with building your Legal Shield business?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great question, first of all. And I wanted to not only just talk about obstacles kind of recently with after getting married, having kids, but obstacles have been there at every stage of my business. And I think that it's important for all of us to know that you can't avoid obstacles, and we shouldn't, because obstacles and overcoming them make you a much better leader. And I think that's what's so beautiful about the Legal Shield business is it's not just about succeeding in Legal Shield. Legal Shield teaches you principles to succeed in every area of your life. And I think at the end of the day, we all want to be, better husbands or, wives or mothers or fathers, or if you're also work in the secular job or W-2 job, like you want to be better in your career, in every aspect of your life, we want to be better. And so Legal Shield has been such a gift in that way. But I was kind of reflecting today, now that it's been 7 or 8 years in this business, it's just amazing how time flies. I'm having a hard time even wrapping my mind around the fact that we're about to have our third child, which is just such a blessing, but it's just crazy how life changes so quick. But early in my business, I was young. I had a lot going for me from a time standpoint, a belief standpoint. I obviously had incredible coaches and an incredible community, the Shield Nation family. But I wrote this down that my biggest obstacle was simply myself. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. I think back to when my very first month, and I cried nearly every day because I feared rejection so bad. I don't know if you've ever been there before, but I was so worried about someone telling me no. And I remember telling my parents that I was not going to do the warm market thing because I was afraid of being rejected by the people that I cared about or knew or had a relationship with. And so I was just going to do the.
You muted yourself out.
Well, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. I don't know where I cut off at, but I was telling my parents how I was not going to do the warm market thing because I was too afraid of getting rejected by people I knew. So I was just going to do the cold calling thing, which all of you all on the phone know that cold calling is just miserable. And so my first month, I cried every day and barely made Performance Club and was basically ready to quit after a month, which would have been a major disappointment, all because of my mindset and myself. I simply was trying to be someone that I wasn't. I was trying to be this really super cool, like salesperson. And honestly, all I needed to do was just be Brielle, get out there and share the powerful service that we had with the passion I had for the service and the passion for people. And so that's what I did. I totally changed my focus, my mindset, the way I saw myself, the way I saw the business. And you've heard me say it a million times, but the whole commission marketing, that's kind of where I was, is I wanted to, make the sales and do this and do that. Went from commission marketing to mission marketing, and it changed everything for me. Did the obstacles go away? No, because the obstacles, like I said, will always be there. There was just different things I faced, but I was no longer going to be the reason why I didn't succeed in this business. So I changed my mindset. I got out of my own way, and it was amazing to see how the success kind of just snowball effect continued to occur over time. And now 7, 8 years in this business, I've, PC qualified every single month. Obviously, I ED qualified 6 months in the business, have not missed ED at any point in my Legal Shield career because it was a
Wow.
goal I committed to and I went for it. Again, there were some very hard months, but when you do the day in, day out work of sharing the story of or the service and or seeing the people telling the story, whether it's virtually or in person at a coffee shop, it's amazing how that business will just naturally grow and grow and grow and grow. And so that was kind of earlier in my business. And then obviously got married, had our sweet little girl, Remy, who we just love so much. And then quickly after had another little baby. His name is Easton. And so going from obviously single or even newly married, I had a lot more time. But one thing I wanted to talk about is another obstacle that I realized is I didn't duplicate myself well. I found there to be a lot of success for me in the business to business arena. Really love that side of the business. I loved working with brokers and insurance professionals all across the country. I think I have clients in almost every single state, at least that, maybe have employees in every single state at the very least. So it's been awesome to be able to build a business nationally. I mean, from 5 employees being my smallest account up to, I think my largest account is 80 or 90,000 employees. But I built a business that relied a lot on me and my ability to travel and my strengths and present. And so I didn't duplicate myself well. And so when it came to less time to travel and to do those things, because I was now wanting to focus on being the best mom that I could be, I realized, okay, my production is not where I wanted it to be. And so that's where I thankfully have been able to build over time and kind of train over time the amazing team, 2 of which are represented on the call tonight, Cap Stewart and Laura Barker. And I just want to give them a massive shout out, because if it wasn't for them and their help in the way that they run and operate their business and the leaders that they are, I wouldn't be able to be the mom that I am today. And so I realized that. So I had some catch up to do after I had Remy, and when, duplicating myself and passing off some of my accounts and figuring out how to train them up in the broker space, specifically in the large group space. So I just want to encourage you, don't rely so much on yourself. There's a lot of team out there that just simply need opportunity. They need to learn and to grow. I think one of the best things that I did early on in my business was I would set an appointment and I would take a coach with me. I would have the coach help do the presentation so I could watch and learn. So if you're not doing that with your team, we're missing opportunities to help train and equip others to become the best leaders that they are called to be. So again, obstacles, they look different in every season. I'm still very much so working the business. My time commitment is a little bit less, but that's the beautiful thing about Legal Shield is I am a mom, really a full-time mom working a part-time Legal Shield business, still making over 6 figures, which I don't really know many places that you can go that I would have this luxury to make this kind of money and have this kind of time freedom and be able to do the things that I'm able to do. So shout out to Legal Shield.
Wow. Wow. That last piece brings us to the promise, and we'll come back to that for a moment, but that is phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. And, hopefully you guys heard that. The first obstacle that I think we all go through in some shape or form is our own mindset. Stopping ourselves, blocking our own blessing in the business, by what's in between the 2 ears and, right up here in our head. So thank you for sharing that. And the idea of not duplicating yourself. So you were having success and then realized, oh, even less time the even more importance of duplication. And that's why people, focus on trying to build a team to duplicate themselves so that their business is not just built on their own effort. So we thank you for sharing that. And you also talked about being able to get help and assistance also with your accounts. And that is also helping and training others. So, and you're still working in your gifting by blessing others and serving others, even as you are growing your business and, duplicating yourself. It doesn't take anything away from you to help others to have success. And I think that's a great lesson coming from you and sharing that with us all. So thank you for that. So let's talk about that promise. And I think the fact that you figured out a way to still be able to be a full-time mom, right? And, work your business less than perhaps you did in the past without giving up that six-figure income is a lifestyle situation right there. But tell us a little bit more about what you love about the lifestyle, the promise that your Legal Shield business has afforded you and your family.
Yeah. And Kimberly, the list goes on and on. I mean, man, I could just talk for a long time about this. I would say first and foremost, it is the fact that I get to raise my precious babies, and I could cry thinking about it as I kind of hear noises in the background as my husband is taking care of them and getting ready for bed. But just to think about how our world is changing and just the different things that kids are facing at an earlier age. I just feel like the responsibility of being a present mom and having an amazing husband who's an amazing dad is just the greatest gift that I can, give my children. And I once heard someone talk about there's no greater calling than that of forming a human soul. And so to think about really equipping my kids to be leaders, and it starts from the day they're born. It's not something where I want to wait till they're 5 or 10 or, later in life. Like instilling these principles inside them at a very early age is just where I feel like the Lord has called me to in this season. And so thankfully, because of Legal Shield, like that income, and I wasn't really thinking about that when I started my business. I didn't think, oh my goodness, like when I'm a mom one day to have six figures still coming in and be able to be present. Like I never thought about what an incredible gift that would be. And so, man, over the last, Remy just turned 3 this past December. Over the last 3 years, my husband and I talk about it on a regular basis and just thank the Lord for the gift of this business. And it came with a lot of hard work. It wasn't handed to me. Patrick's been a phenomenal support this whole time. And of course, a lot of you and my parents. And so I'm so thankful for the Legal Shield career. But another thing is last year in February, my husband was able to transition out of, I think it was a 6 or 7 year career in crane sales. And so if you've ever been to Nashville, you've probably noticed there's a lot of tower cranes because there's massive buildings being built all the time. And so he was very successful in selling cranes, but we didn't see him as much as we wanted to. So he made great money, but he didn't have the time freedom that Legal Shield provides. And so we decided it was time for a change because we wanted to see him more and family was a value. And so because of the Legal Shield business and the sustaining income that we've had from that, he was able to transition careers completely to commercial real estate, where he specializes in the healthcare industry for a phenomenal company. It was a total blessing from the Lord. But this was February of last year, then COVID hits March, right? So even though God has been so faithful in his success in this business, I'm again, another reason and just so indebted to Legal Shield for the residual component. It just isn't many places, right? And so, and not to mention the fact that we get to travel and create memories with our kids and memories that'll last a lifetime. Last year, we picked up and went to North Carolina for 5 weeks after kind of COVID really started to strike here in the Nashville area. And so we wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for his new job and Legal Shield. And then of course, I've already mentioned this, but just again, being a full-time mom, working a part-time business and having that income that is going to sustain us for years is just truly a gift I do not take for granted. So
yeah. I mean, it's It's awesome, and I'm sure so many on this who are listening to you are just thinking every time you were speaking, I heard time. Being able to raise your kids is time. Giving your husband having the opportunity to change careers without having to worry about an income, so he can be more home with his family. It's time, and so many of us on this Zoom are looking to be able to control our time even more. And Legal Shield has been able to do that for you, and for so many on this call. So those of you who are thinking, that's why I'm here. That's part of my reason, is to have more time with my family, to have more time with the people I love, and to be able to focus and just think about mission, not commission, right? That's a mindset. But when you have an opportunity in front of you, like Legal Shield, to allow you to do that, it just helps you to blossom. So here's a shining example, ladies and gentlemen, of a person in Brielle, Hoffman, Crouse, who's been able to do that. And if she can do it, then you can do it. If she can do it, then I can do it. If she can do it, we all can do it. And that's one of the things we love for you to hear out of the Price to Promise. I'm just going to ask you one more question real quick, because we only have 2 more minutes here. And I just want to say, if you have any final thoughts on advice that you would give to those who may be struggling in any way in their business, on what they can be doing to have success in Legal Shield.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll make it quick. I've got a few points here. So the first thing I wanted to say is stop looking for a certain secret sauce and realize that your belief in yourself and your passion for the service is your secret sauce. So I think a lot of Legal Shield associates come in and they're looking for, you know, a certain leader to say a certain thing that just clicks, and all of a sudden, the light bulb goes off and they're just off to the races. That's not the case here. Your belief in yourself and your passion for this service is your secret sauce. Now get out there and go and do and be the very best person that you can be. Becoming a master of using the service first and then sharing the service, I believe, is the best foundation. So I think oftentimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to sell the small business plan and open our first group and all of that kind of in our first month. Just start simple. Start simple by first use the product and then just share the service. Share. And it's not a pushy share. It's just, man, I cannot help but tell you this service has changed our life, and use practical examples. The membership stories tonight were phenomenal stories. And so that's how I started my business. I didn't start in the B2B sector. I didn't even think about the B2B realm until, 6, 7, 8 months in the business, after I had mastered the membership presentation and done a lot of them. I mean, I can't even tell you how many networking events and coffee, visits or meetings I went out to. And I mean, just membership presentation after membership presentation, using the consumer folder, filling out a paper app over and over and over again, which gave me this confidence and success to be in front of a group of employees at companies all sizes, all over the nation. Not fearing rejection is huge, because rejection is inevitable. It's our response to it that really defines the course of success in this business. So it's going to happen, but that's why you have this community of Shield Nation to call upon. So call me. If you just were rejected, call me, and I'm going to pump you up, and I'm going to remind you that it's okay. You're going to get past it, because on the other side of a no is a massive yes. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I was told, no, you're crazy, whatever, this or that, I don't need the service. 6 months later, a year later, sometimes it's that long of a sales cycle. I've waited on broker relationships and pursued brokers for 1.5 to 2 years. And I'm like, wow, it really took you 2 years to realize that this is an incredible product to sell to your clients. Okay, well, at least we're moving forward now. And so sometimes you just got to laugh about it, but just realize that, just like Bob Cohen said earlier, it's just because they don't KNOW yet. No just means they don't KNOW. So keep on persevering. And I think the last thing, again, I can probably go on and on, so I'll just end here, is no one is responsible for your success or your destiny but yourself. And so one of the greatest gifts, again, that my parents gave me is they didn't build a business for me. They didn't put a bunch of people under me. People ask me that all the time, when we used to do conferences and events and used to see each other in person, people would say, did your parents build your business? No, they didn't. They let me build it myself. They let me dig deep, get in the trenches, face the rejection, hear the no's, but also experience the mountaintops of a six-figure income and youngest millionaire club member and all of those different things, which is there and available for all of you. And so don't get in your own way. Trust the Lord, give it everything you got. That's why this community is here. Again, call on us. I'm here. If I can ever take a phone call and just encourage you, I would absolutely love to. But let's all commit to this year, digging in, pushing forward, and just believing for more. I think that it's time to take our businesses to higher heights, our lives personally in every area. Again, I believe in you so much, Shield Nation family. It's such an honor to have been on the call tonight. Wish I was there to hug all of you in person some way, somehow, but hopefully in the future when this COVID thing is behind us, hopefully sooner rather than later. But I love you all. Thank you so much, Miss Kimberly Dixon, for having me on the call. And I hope that you guys have